Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we have the return of La Foudre, the sister ship of Jean Bart, basically a Jean Bart in pirate's clothing. The brand new sort of duplicate of Jean Bart with some tweaked stats, a ship that I don't think we were all anticipating, but we've all been eagerly anticipating a return of Jean Bart just because of how powerful that ship was. This is it. Come back and up for sale. We're going to go ahead and do a review of it today. If you've never seen one of the reviews, we're going to talk about the commander, the modules, go over pretty much everything you need to know, the stats, and then show off a game in it. So if that sounds good, make sure you stick around. I do have to say, technically this video, I guess, is sponsored by Wargaming. They have provided the ship for review purposes. And in fact, this is the first time we've ever gotten one before public release. So good on them. I like them providing it early. Lets us get a review. That way, if a ship doesn't end up being good, at least we're able to get out the buyer beware message. So shout out to the Wargaming folks for putting out the ship a little early. For the CCs at least. Anyways, you're here to talk about and find out, is this ship the second coming of Jean Bart? Well, let's just go ahead and dive on in. And first things first, let's go ahead and talk about the commander. Now, there is a new pirate commander that is technically kind of built for this ship, in air quotes. That's all about boosting the secondaries for this ship. But we are going to be rolling with Azur Lane Dunkirk because, guys, she is just the most powerful French commander for the battleships. She is just fantastic because of her unique skill. We are running Andrew Cunningham and Paolo Di Ravel just to try to get that fire rate up. Base Straight Fur is going to reduce flooding damage, and then we are running Flammable Cannoneer, Frontal Fire, Megalomania, Master Mechanic, and Fight Fire with Fire. Her unique skill, Frontal Fire, it lets you switch between shell typing instantly, nearly, which is super powerful and super useful. I do 100% recommend it. It's a great skill. If you ever have the chance to pick up Azur Lane Dunkirk and you enjoy the French ships, I don't think you'll be disappointed because she is just wonderfully powerful. So that is the commander. Our mod slots, well, we are running aiming system mod 1, though armament durability is always a choice. That's because, well, French guns do tend to be a little weak and they can get knocked fairly easy. Then we are running prop mod, then we are running the concealment mod, and finally we are running that main battery mod 3. Next up, let's go ahead and talk consumables. In the first slot, we got that standard damage control party, 15-second duration, and an 80-second reload time. In that second slot, we do have the repair party. It's going to heal for 347 damage per second. It's going to last 28 seconds, giving you a total of 9,716 health per proc. Reload time in 75.2 seconds, and you're going to get 4 charges of it. Next, you got 2 main battery reload boosters, just like Jean Bart. Probably one of the strongest attributes about Jean Bart is the main battery reload booster, and we have it here. And then finally, you have the choice between engine boost and enhanced secondary targeting. I am running engine boost. We'll talk about this a bit later, and once we get into the match. This ship fakes you out and wants you to build for secondaries, but we'll go ahead and talk about the problems with that a bit later. So those are the mod slots. Let's just go ahead and dive on into the ship. So La Foudre, 65,550 hit points with an armor thickness between 18 and 430 millimeters. Let's go ahead and pull up that armor view. And guys, she's exactly like Jean Bart, coated in 32 millimeters of armor on the deck and on the bow. If we go ahead and remove it, this is a Citadel you should know and love well, because look how low it is in the water, and look how it doesn't take up the width of the ship. That's right, just like you know and love from Jean Bart. Once again, she is a pretty much clone of Jean Bart with a couple of stats just tweaked. With all that said, let's go ahead and move on to torpedo reduction. You're looking at 32%. Next up, the main batteries. Oh, and total potential health of the ship. So if you use all of the heals with the ship, you're looking at a total hit points of 104,414. Main battery, two 4-barreled 380 millimeter guns with a firing range of 17.8 kilometers is one of the things they nerfed from regular Jean Bart, about a kilometer less of range. Reload time also a bit nerfed by 1 second. Reload time on it 20.8 seconds, giving you a shell sprint of 23. Give 180 time on those guns 41.4 seconds. HE damage 5,130 per shell, giving you a DPM of 117,990 and a 36% chance to set fire. AP damage, you're looking at 11,305, giving you a DPM of 260,015. Next up, we have those secondary batteries. You have two sets of secondaries. You have 12 two-barreled 100 millimeter cannons and three 3-barreled 152s with a firing range of 7 kilometers. Reload time for the 100 millimeters, you're looking at a 3-second reload time, 1,550 damage, and a 5% chance to set fire. For the 152s, you're looking at a 12-second reload, a damage of 2,350, and a 12% chance to set fire. And, well, you may notice with guns that small, the secondaries don't really pen much up at tier 7, which is why you may not really want to build into secondary batteries, even though Foudre does have enhanced secondary batteries compared to Jean Bart. That's kind of her gimmick. She gives up main battery performance for secondaries, but the secondaries don't really have the performance. They really just set fires. They don't do much damage. So there's that. AA, still a very strong AA ship, 5-kilometer range with a minimum damage of 203 at that 5 kilometers, and at 4.5 kilometers, it bounces up to 560 damage per second. So a very strong AA suite. Maneuverability, max speed of the vessel is 30 knots with a turning radius of 850 meters and a rudder shift time of 12.6 seconds. I think that's nearly 5 seconds quicker than Jean Bart. Finally, let's get over to concealment. You're looking at 13.3 kilometers by sea, 11.1 kilometers by air, and 14.1 kilometers when firing in smoke. And those are all of the stats of Foudre. So now let's go ahead and just dive on in to the game with her. So everyone, welcome to Islands of Ice, and we are here on Epicenter. First things first, let's go ahead and look at that team comp. Battleships and destroyers we get 1 cruiser. Yeah, a bit of a weird team comp, which means this is going to be a bit of a weird game. Our plan, we are just going to go wide. With this many destroyers in the match, I don't think we really need to worry about center control in the way that I don't think we can really have influence. Our best bet is to try to get wide, use these islands as cover, dig in like a tick, and use that legendary performance of a Jean Bart, in this case in Foudre, as kind of a tick in the enemy side. So that is kind of the plan. That's why we're going wide. We've gone ahead, activated the engine boost right off the rip, trying to get out wide. So that's the play, and here we go. So while all of this goes on, let's go ahead and just start talking Foudre, because the big question is she as good as a Jean Bart? Are they selling that legendary ship, or did they nerf it into the ground? And is Foudre just not even worth picking up? And well, I having now played Jean Bart, because I have one on loan for the week. The only hidden stat that they changed between them is they did modify the Sigma, which is a general term for kind of the accuracy of the ship. They modified it by 0.1. And honestly, I can't really feel the difference. There's definitely a small difference there, but it's not a huge one. And that's the only real big modification that was made to the stats, the decreased, the 1 kilometer less firing range, you can absolutely live with. The rest of the stuff, also look at that beautiful hit on that Iowa. Everything else, guys, it's a Jean Bart. I don't think they really changed much about it. But here we go. Here we are. Le Foudre, definitely a ship that you are going to see a lot of down up in tier 7 or down in tier 7. In tier 7, it is just Jean Bart all over again. I really do feel like it. I don't think there is much difference between the two ships, even though they supposedly changed some things. Right? They added they added 1 second to the reload, but by the time you start stacking kind of buffs and things, you get it down to like 0.7 of a second between the reloads on the two ships. Like, there isn't much daylight between them, and it absolutely performs sort of just like a Jean Bart. Now, as far as pricing goes, it's 17,500 doubloons, which is kind of the cost of a AAA game. Is it worth it to you? You know, if I wasn't a CC and last holiday season I spent a good chunk of the YouTube income for one of the months buying holiday crates to try to get a Jean Bart. Guys, if you were a whale chasing the super prize of a Jean Bart last holiday, consider this a fucking bargain. Like, it is Jean Bart returned to the game. And that's the best way I can kind of describe this boat. Now, that really does come up to you, because it may be something where you're like, I don't really want to spend that sort of money on a ship, and you know what, you are absolutely fine to do that. But I'm letting you know, this is one of those ships that is a sheep in wolf's clothing. I don't know. It's special. It's fun. It's going to be a ship you see often. And for what are the changes, I don't think you're really losing much. Now, the other thing that they changed, of course, is the main battery, or is not the main battery, is the secondary batteries, the anti-torpedo boat armament, as they have so labeled it. And they make you want to build into them, and you just can't. You just can't. The guns, the majority of the secondaries just don't have the pen to really do any damage at the tier. So really, you're only looking at the 152s ever doing damage, and that's if they hit the superstructure of the enemy ship, which that's half and half. You can't really target a specific area. It's not like you're sitting with destroyer 152s that you're targeting. So yes, the ship does technically have better secondaries, but all they're ever going to do is set fire. You could 100% build into them. That's what we did in that first match that you saw up on the thing, where you saw us get set on fire a ton, which is why we've gone with fight fire with fire, because boy, does this thing catch on fire. I had not appreciated how tinderboxy Jean Bart and Le Foudre are, but let me tell you, they are tinderboxes, and you can easily burn these guys down as we take a huge hit out of champagne there and pop our second reload booster to try to go ahead and finish off this champagne. Down he goes. Beautiful. We also picked up the high cal there. Anyway, sorry. As far as getting back to commentating on the match, because I realize I've just gone down 2 very long rabbit holes. We dug in. We took our shots. When we saw people that we could hit, when we saw destroyers, we flipped over to our HE, because, of course, we do have Dunkirk's ability to insta-flip between HE and AP to have the correct shell for whatever moment that you're in. We've gone ahead, gotten some pretty good broadsides on enemy ships, and we're able to exploit them when we have that main battery reload booster that we get 2 charges of, because that's the kind of defining feature of Jean Bart, and Le Foudre remains it. It's still a very powerful ship, and now we're sort of chasing down this Iowa with just keeping an eye on where we think the remaining destroyers are, because that's really the only threat. We see Richelieu is giving us a nice broadside. So we're like, you know what, Iowa, not really affecting the match anymore. We can go ahead and take a look at Richelieu over here. Let's see if we can get some damage on him before he hits the gas pedal, gets on out of there. We can take this nice victory lap. We're not too far ahead and as far as ships go, but we are very much on the verge of winning just because of points. Richelieu moves out of the way. Iowa goes down, so we're just going to go ahead, turn in on Richelieu, get prepped, and hello there. There is Mr. Oostergotland. We're going to go ahead and flip over to that HE once again. Bring those shells around, bring those guns around. Try to line it up. We can see Oostergotland, very fast ship, so we're going to lead it nicely and see if we can go ahead and provide some support. You know, it's a destroyer, you might as well fire, because when you fire, you never know when you're going to get that kill and blow. Just like that. And at this point, that's sort of the match. So, La Foudre. Guys, it's a great ship. It's a fantastic ship. If you don't have Jean Bart, I would say this is one of those where if you've always wanted Jean Bart, this is as close as you're going to get to it. And I don't think you're really paying any downsides like you were with Wichita and Wichita CE. If you already have Jean Bart, is it worth picking up? No, they are that close. There's nothing really special. The extra secondary range, not really worth it. I would take that extra main battery range, but it's absolutely playable with the slightly modified main battery range. So guys, that's La Foudre. Like I said, I think it is a fantastic ship, and you're going to be seeing a lot of them in matchmaking. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.